Welcome to Golden Goal. It's no longer days, only hours to go until the start of the season, until Friday night will be lit up by the lights at Selhurst Park, buzzing with people and full of football players ready to kick off the Premier League season. And we will preview entire game week, pretty much majority of it, with our panel. Right after this one, let's start the Premier League.
Kicking way to do so. Can it's him. Back to Balotelli. It runs for Aguero. They did it!
Hazard still on the ground as Charlie Adam goes for goal here. Oh, and he scored!
And was by Stones. Andrew Townsend! The field a minute. And Aaron Ramsey starts and ends. An immaculate. Trying to find a way through.
Well, there we go. Our brand new intro carries on and we are beginning the show. So let's go to our panel. And in the producer's chair, back again, the Samster. Producer Sam, how's it going?
Hey, yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you? I haven't been called that since secondary school, I must admit. We'll go with it.
Try to mix it up, mate. Try to mix it up. I've run out of nicknames, so, Back on the show also is the Abdi. How's it going?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
All good, all good. Ready for the season?
Of course,
George?
ready.
How's it going?
I'm good, mate. How you doing? Huberto Carlos.
There we go. All good, all good. And we've got a debut on the show. You've heard him on the podcast. It took us months to get him on the YouTube channel, but he's finally here. Newcastle's very own Nick. How's it going?
Oh, sorry, Nick.
I'm doing very well, Hubert. How are you?
All good, all good. We'll definitely be talking your team later. So, all this show will be about this game week in the Premier League. We'll preview the games, and at the end, Sam over here is going to tell us about a little prediction competition he's got for us at management. So, and the guests. So yes, we'll go to that towards the end of the show. But first, let's start with this. Friday night, under the lights at Selhurst, Palace welcome a very hungry firepower Arsenal. George, how do you see this game going?
Well, that I can't say to start off with, but
Hey, a linder of a joke, that one.
Yeah, exactly. Eye opener.
Hey.
I'm quite positive, to be fair. That I think it's going to be a very, very hard game. It all depends how we start, but the squad we've got now is positive. Like we've got options. It's not like an Arsenal going to Brentford last season. Like at the start of last season, we was took out by, and our pre-season was disrupted by COVID and that, like illness and COVID kind of depleted that team. So, yeah, we've got Zinchenko, Jesus, Saliba. There's 3 new people already in the team. So yeah, I'm quite excited, really. And I think it adds to it with the All or Nothing documentary coming out just before. You remember how bad we were watching it again. But yeah, I'm surprisingly quite positive. I think transfer window, we've had probably one of the best this season. Definitely the best one at our club for a while, and I think they'll complete that in the next couple of weeks. So we've got options. We've just got to wait and see what happens. To be fair, if we start on the front foot, we have to admit it's going to be a testing atmosphere, because obviously under the lights, Friday, Palace are at home. But they've not got, from what I'm hearing, they've not got a fully fit squad at the minute, so that will be interesting test to see what they're like.
So you think Arsenal win?
Yeah. Good to think. I think we'll win. I don't think it'll be easy, but if you ask me what am I more confident about, this game or last April, I think it was April, this one I'm more confident about.
Okay. Abdi, when it comes to, you can talk about Arsenal as well, but when it comes to Palace, do you think Palace will be a threat, opening game at home. And we know what their fans are like at home. They're passionate and it's like the 12th man almost. What do you think?
Of course, they can be a threat. We all know how capable Palace are. They caused problems for Arsenal last year. They arguably in a game that I witnessed at the Emirates, they should have beaten Arsenal there, and they smashed them in April. So going to Selhurst Park is not an easy feat on a especially opening night under the lights Friday night. But I think Arsenal are prepared, and for the first time in a long while, I feel like it's safe to say Arsenal feel prepared for the season. Going into it, obviously, the last few seasons hasn't been easy to prepare for anyone really, with the way the season has been broken up due to COVID and behind closed doors games and not being able to get out and have an actual proper pre-season. Euros was last year, so people were depleted, and the season before that it was backlogged fixtures from the postponement of COVID. So this one feels like it's different, like people going into it more ready, fully fit and confident. And I feel like Arsenal going into tomorrow night are more confident in what they could do. Will it happen? Well, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think we should count out Palace. Obviously, as we said, they can be a massive threat. But I do think Arsenal will come away with 3 points, and I think they'll start off the season very well.
Well, that's
one thing I'll quickly say about that Palace game from April, the big difference could be that they haven't got a Conor Gallagher anymore. And Conor Gallagher...
They have made smart signings, to be fair. They brought
that's only
Decore from
he's never played
Lens.
before.
That, to be fair, you could say that about quite a few players. No one's ever played over here before, but you have to wait and see. But N'Golo Kante never played over here before, and then afterwards, look what he turned into. So you never know. And I feel like Palace do have a very balanced squad in terms of what they're building. They're making smart signings. They're backing Vieira. They're continuing the backing of Vieira. Obviously, Conor Gallagher will be a massive loss.
I don't think they've backed him that much.
I
know Palace
maybe not as much as they did last.
Either.
Maybe not as much as last season, but I still think that they've given him a few smart signings that could fit into what he is trying to build, and I feel like it will supplement into it. Do I think Palace are going to make a push for top half, or we'll have to wait and see? I still think they'll finish around 12th to highest would probably be 10th. But
I just mean that in comparison to that game, because whatever people say, you can say they've made smart signings, but Conor Gallagher was probably one of the best players in the league last season for me.
He was.
I think he fell off towards the end though, a little bit.
Towards the end,
when Palace fell off a bit, like for me. But like I'm just saying, I don't know about Decore, so that's just something we'll have to wait and see. But I think that could be something Arsenal could try and test to see, like, because no disrespect when he played against us earlier in the both, I think it was in the first game, both games he bossed it. So they have got Eze and Elise and Peter Zaha when he wants to dive a bit, and they've got Mateta, but it's how I've watched them in pre-season and they've been okay. And I know you can't really pay too much, but they are missing that Conor Gallagher type of player. And I know a couple of people at Sport Palace have said like we need, say, 2 or 3 more to compete to even break into that top 10. So I'm not saying tomorrow will be an easy game because I don't think it will. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was draw, but I think what Arsenal have got to look at is they haven't got Conor Gallagher marshalling and pulling the strings, so it could be where people like Saka and Ødegaard potentially could show their skill.
Potentially, but as I said, Decore is an unknown quantity, so he could surprise a few people. It could be a breakout game. It could.
I don't think he's that sort.
Still be
a Gallagher player. He plays in a complete different position.
Perhaps, but it might be a different way that Vieira is trying to play now, like to compensate for losing out on Gallagher. Maybe.
He
misses out on that, but
I'm not going to say he's crap because I'd be quite a harsh football supporter because I don't know him. And if they wasn't playing my club, I'd like Palace to do well. So, but I'm hoping to see Patrick on his knees again. A bit of luck.
Well, we'll have
We'll
to
see,
wait and
but
see what...
so far he's undefeated against Arsenal. But it's a very interesting one. Personally, I still do think that streak comes to an end tomorrow. But
Yeah. He
yeah,
has only played 2 games against us, so mate, that's a bit of a
it
false.
is.
It's
But
a
still,
false,
he had a
unbeaten
very
record.
good season against you. No, to be come on.
It's false though. Like we played 2 games.
It's not false as
Yeah,
much as it's
home
just
and
2
away.
games.
Home and away.
But
You
if
can't
he's-
tell much from 2 games.
Yeah, but like
Played at a very when Arsenal were different teams at both stages.
I don't think they were. To be honest.
I think you're better going into the
I
April
thought
one,
we
but
were
then
better.
afterwards,
No, I don't.
I think
think-
you were. But then it kind of
But
collapsed.
we were lucky in the first one, to be honest. Like we shouldn't have got.
Yeah,
that
you have.
game,
No,
so-
you shouldn't have. You really shouldn't have. But
And
you
all
did.
I mean, I'm not
just about.
disrespecting Vieira. He's a legend at my club. Like we love him, like everything. But it is if he's unbeaten against us, then this season, then I'll be like, yeah, that's a record. But after 2 games, that's not for me.
Yeah. All right,
It's a
we'll
streak
see.
of some
But
description, but yeah.
a small one, it's a small one, but
Yeah.
want to know
It's
something.
that small. It makes a house elf look tall.
Well, let's move on to Nick then. What do you think's going to happen? What do you see happening in that game?
I think it's an interesting match. I think it's going to be tight. I think could be very interesting. But I think Arsenal are going to edge it just with the players they have going forward. I think that Arsenal have had a really good transfer window with the players they brought in, and Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli could shine and create for Jesus to get goals.
I've got money on it.
I do think Palace have struggled pre-season because the fact they haven't had all their players available, and I think they're going to trying to adapt without Conor Gallagher is going to be key. I think so. I am confident Arsenal are going to get a win to start tomorrow
We're
night.
going to lose then because whenever Nick says
No.
we win, we lose.
What I will say though is I do agree with Nick in terms of Palace have had a bit of a dodgy pre-season because we played them in pre-season, but we didn't play Palace's first team. We played Palace's B team.
You played half
Because I had to
Palace's
split.
team because
Yeah,
they split.
basically, they had to split them because of I think something to do. I'm not sure what the official reasoning is, but I think it's to do with COVID vaccinations and all that.
Was back in
not being
April,
able to.
So the
they
Australian
weren't, they
over-
weren't
yeah,
able to
that
enter
was-
Australia.
Yeah, they wouldn't be like they'll lose they lost out on a lot of their heavy hitters. So Patrick Vieira had to work with sort of the second string basically. A lot of youngsters and
because they're only
and
letting
fringe
people
players.
that had minimum of 1 vaccine.
Yeah, so
that was why Leeds. I think it was Leeds as well. There was like a group of players that couldn't go because they had no vaccine at all, or they hadn't had COVID. So
yeah,
it's disrupted, isn't it? Like that's what I was about to say. Like when you've got a team that half players play one place and half in the other, and I'd say bits of both of the halves will probably play in their first team. They're not playing as a unit, are they? Really?
no, they're not.
But I
No,
don't
and
think
that's always going to
like,
disrupt them.
pre-season for me. Like it's one of those things that you can have a really, really good one and do really, really terrible, or you can have a really, really bad. Like when Arsenal went unbeaten, we lost to Barnet. So if you take anything out of that one, you ain't going to think a team's
When
going to do
Liverpool
that.
went on to win the league, as
Yeah.
much as it pains me, they didn't win in pre-season.
No, so, but I get what your point. Both your points are that it's disrupted and it's not ideal, really.
No, it doesn't really help the situation. I mean, Sam, what's your view on the game? What's going to happen? Tell us.
I'm feeling good about it. We don't normally go into a season as Arsenal fans feeling good about the first game. But we've had a pre-season with the players we wanted to bring in. We've done well in the pre-season. It's the most excited as Arsenal fans we've been in quite a while, I would say. It's not going to be an easy one. Palace set up amazingly last time they played us, and they've got the way they set up. So I think I'm in hope that we'll win, but I don't think it's going to be an easy one.
Okay. What are the people saying in the chat? Anything about the Palace game?
We have an evening all and Arsenal to win 3-0 from Liam.
Cheers, Liam.
Liam.
I'll take that now.
I was going to say that's a pretty decent result.
He's very optimistic. He's a very positive thinking supporter there.
Yeah,
And then we have a evening guys from G.
Ah,
Hi, G.
there you go. All right.
Good show as well.
Hey.
That's a good show for G as well.
Oh.
You've done the show just for us.
Oh, excellent. Well, feel free to tune in and listen to it after us. After you're done here, go over there and listen as well.
G's 3-1 Arsenal. I think I've put that one down, to be fair.
Yeah, I think I put 3-1 Arsenal, to be fair. We'll talk about predictions later. Right, so we'll go to this one. So, newly promoted Fulham.
Newly?
Well, this season,
Come
yes.
back.
Newly promoted Fulham this season.
Boomerang Fulham.
Seen them 3 times in the last, 5 years?
Yeah,
Correct.
It's not the Craven Cottage, it's the Craven Bouncy Castle. Anyway, they have gone very easy start. They take on second place Liverpool, George. I mean, I will ask. I don't really see the point in asking, but I will ask. What's going to happen?
So, I will tell you what I think is going to happen. But if I tell you that I managed to get my Sky Bet account sorted today, and
round of applause, they're on finally.
Well
done. 2
Fine.
years. 2 years late. So, but my first free bet I put on was Salah to score
Fulham to
2,
win?
Nunez to score a hat trick, and Salah to have 4 plus shots on target.
Jesus.
God.
It
You're going
probably
for a
won't happen.
mauling.
It'll probably be like 0-0 now or something. But I think they've
Hopefully.
got 3 hopes for them. It's no hope, Bob hope, and an envelope. They might as well just say, all right, we'll take the hit. Go on. But now I've said that, I know what's going to happen. For the 89th minute winner, just to make Abdi happy, and Pereira will get it.
Yes, Super Rara.
Can you imagine?
With an absolute screamer. I would literally be jumping for joy. Come on, that's my
we
boy.
can't have any more screamers, mate, because we're going to have to swap it and then put it in the intro again, otherwise.
Pre-season planning.
But
Don't
no,
worry, we can always update, evolve with the times, you know.
Exactly.
But I think, on a serious note, I think Liverpool will probably win quite easily. Like, I've not really watched Fulham this pre-season, so it's a bit.
They've not done too bad.
Don't really mean nothing to me.
Yeah, it's difficult to say, but they've not done too bad. I know from what I've seen briefly.
I don't know. I think it could be a bit of a. I think they're going to want to put a message up just before West Ham play City. So, yeah, well, I'm hoping Salah gets 2 and Nunez hat trick and 4 plus goals. If that happened, I might be missing the first month of the season. I might be in Australia.
As long as you give us a ticket, that's all fine. Abdi, Abdi, Fulham? No.
No. I do. I really love them. No, they're just one of those teams that are getting in the way. Like, I did like Fulham before.
I've just realised you can go for Fulham.
Grating on them. Yeah. Can he catch it? Butterfingers himself.
Good luck, Leno.
Yeah.
I just realised that. It just dawned on me.
My boss at work is a Fulham fan.
Look,
I'm off on
I'll be honest. Fulham. Look, it's not Scott Parker's Fulham. It's Marco Silva's Fulham. I think we're forgetting that a little bit. We have to give him a bit of a chance. Yeah, no, I know, but that was both times.
Signing Justin or Jason Cliver. So
Justin Cliver.
Yeah, that's some news.
They are making moves, but what I will say,
yeah, they did the last few times they got relegated.
No, but here's the thing. What I will say is, the last 2 times we saw Fulham was both on Scott Parker. Fulham won the championship last year by however many points, stupid goals.
Yeah, they could rock the
Yeah,
championship.
no, I
always
know.
did the
Yes,
same. You
yes.
can't really
Of
go
course.
for that.
No, no, I can't. Of course. No, no.
Even though I
Let
did
me
enjoy
finish.
their thrashing.
I'll
of Luton
finish. I'll
Town.
finish. No, that's fine.
I don't know. That's the same.
Of course, no. Of course, it doesn't always necessarily mean that you do well. I've mentioned it before. I've said that 9 times out of 10, the champions of the championship don't always do so well unless you're Wolves, because Wolves and Newcastle, the last two that are still in the Premier League that won the championship.
Correct.
Um,
Yes.
It's the last
but,
time
like-
Newcastle won something.
Norwich is the other one. They usually go and win the championship and then afterwards go straight back down, rock bottom each time. But we'll see. I feel like with Fulham, it's different managers, so I will give them the benefit of the doubt. But I still don't see it being any different in terms of the result. They're going to go up against hungry Liverpool, who will be feasting at lunchtime, and it'll be a mauling. That's all I have to say. But I do think Fulham will have a decent enough season. And I kind of hope they have a decent enough season because I'm sick of them just going up and down, up and down, up and down. Because if they go straight back down,
club. Let them stay up.
yeah, exactly. Because if they go straight back down as well, they'll just come back up. So might as well keep them in there.
Then Leeds down. Too far.
Leeds down.
I've got to go Yorkshire this weekend. That's bad enough. Just saying that I
Yeah.
can't do all these. Do you know what? If we had like if the Premier League ended up just being a Southern League with like just 4 or 5 teams just the two from Manchester, Liverpool, that'd be absolute ideal for me. Save me a lot of money on train
You're not
tickets.
You're not asking for much. That's the good thing. You're not very fussy and picky. Nick, do you give? I mean, rhetorical question. Do you give Full any hope in this game?
No, I don't
No.
give them any hope.
No,
I think Liverpool will be
I didn't think
determined
you would,
to
be honest.
come out and
I don't
start
think anyone gives a Fulham
this
much
season,
hope, to be honest.
with and they want to. I think Fulham will get an absolute hammering, and Liverpool will be banging in loads of goals.
You know what's going to happen now, do you? Whatever I said there.
Hopefully, I hope so.
Or it'd just be like 1-0 or something. Like I don't know, Diaz. Oh no, like Joe Gomez will come off the bench and header in, and everyone's looking at their fantasy team thinking, "What's happening here?" Hold on.
Exactly.
I've got Pereira. He's on the bench, so I might have to think about bringing him on.
Might be quite a good buy for fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam, do you have the same question for you? Because I mean, we all know what Liverpool's going to do, but do you give Fulham any hope?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. It's going to be 5-0 Fulham.
Welcome, Gary Neville.
No, in all seriousness, it's. Let's put it this way: I'd be very surprised if Fulham come out with anything from the game.
Minus goal difference.
Give you guys one hell of a beating.
Yeah, I don't really think there's much else that to be said about that one, really.
Any Fulham fans in the chat?
Yeah.
Dare I ask?
Do they have any fans?
No, a bit like
They have fans.
I've never met a Fulham fan. I'm not even lying.
I have.
a bit like what their scoreline's going to be when they come to play Liverpool. Big fat
Nil.
none.
Hmm.
I've been to Fulham and I've never met any of their fans.
We have got a score prediction: Liverpool 4-1 though from Liam.
Well, they think Fulham will score. Oh, Jesus.
Mitrovic.
Which is more than
No, I don't want
From
that.
the spot.
Yeah,
Set up
Nick
by
loves a bit
Pereira,
of
though. Mitrovic
Mitrovic.
set up by Thingy.
And we have 2 comments from Lottie. One with
Lots.
love and an exclamation mark. And has she missed anything? Has George and Abdi started throwing shots at each other yet?
Not yet. But...
No.
Right.
We're very friendly on
my
this show.
Abdi.
We're very friendly on this show.
Not until we beat them in the Europa League final. It's fine.
There's still 10 months to that, so we'll wait and see.
We'll do a watch along, like in the Budapest Stadium. We got Abdi one side and me on the other.
Well, let's unless there are any more comments, Sam.
No, that's it.
I'll move us on to this game, 3:00. Your Newcastle, Nick. Welcome, promoted. Nottingham Forest. What's your thinking?
Well, this is the first Premier League game for 23 years for Nottingham Forest,
Thank you, Stato.
having spent time in Championship and League One. I think, well, don't really know what to expect because Nottingham Forest's team for this game will be totally different from the playoff final. So, with all the signings they've made, so I'm not really sure. Newcastle, I'm hoping for a better start than last season because the start was absolutely awful. So, I am hoping for a win. I think our squad is, well, defensively we are way stronger than this time last year with all reinforcements there. I just think attacking wise we need a couple of more signings there, but I think we've got some good players there. So
that's one with Chris Wood.
I think Newcastle are going to win
I like how that question got
2-0
ignored.
with Saint Maximin and Bruno
Wood.
scoring.
Yeah, Chris Wood.
That's it. I put in by the
The
old Chris Wood.
Kiwi Harry Kane.
I put in by the old Chris Wood to score. Now that was completely sidetracked.
The Kiwi Harry Kane.
Oh, Abdi, what do you see happening in that game?
I'm honestly not sure. I don't know what to expect, to be fair, because as Nick mentioned, Nottingham Forest have made quite a lot of signings. It could be one that backfires, as we all know that sometimes bringing in loads of players doesn't tend to work. It's not the best strategy, but bringing in Lingard and paying him 200k a week for a season, he's absolutely rolling in it. He's loving it.
Vince McMahon, it's a stupendous amount of money.
Stupid. I love that you use that because that is so Vince McMahon right there. But from the actual game itself, no, but from the actual game itself, Newcastle, I haven't really been keeping an eye on too much what they've been doing. And I've been surprised at how quiet they've been in terms of the transfer window. I thought they'd be out there shaking a lot of trees and making a lot of noise. They got the Botman deal done. They got the Botman deal done. I can't remember any other deals that they've done. I think they made Target.
Pope and Target.
Yeah, as a permanent
on Target.
But they haven't really made any other massive additions. But I've seen they've been linked with James Maddison. I think that would be a smart buy for them, poaching from a team that they're trying to pull down and pull away from in Leicester.
Relegation team.
I hope not. I like Leicester. But as the game itself, I'm not too sure. It's going to be very interesting. But I'm kind of sad that they put Nottingham Forest's first game back as a 3 p.m. kickoff. I'd rather watch that than
be on Al Jazeera TV, mate. You'll be fine.
Yeah, no, don't worry, I got the connections. But yeah, no.
I was going to say, yeah.
Nah, it's cool. But I don't know what to expect too much from that game. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see it either on Al Jazeera TV or Match of the Day.
So while Abdi's sitting on the fence there,
I've made a prediction, but I think I went with a draw. I think I did.
Mind you might get splinters there, mate.
Well, George,
no, but I think I went for a 2-2 draw.
Are you gonna keep Abdi company on that fence, or are you gonna?
No, I don't know. Everyone's right. So let's break it down, as Y2J would say. You got Newcastle with a Kiwi Harry Kane. So I don't think they've got anything to worry about. They've got Kiwi Harry Kane. They've got the seaside version of Mbappe and Callum Wilson, haven't they? So, and then they've got the rubbish Bruno because the good one's somewhere else. Just to make Abdi happy. Forest, I think they'll do all right, to be fair. I know they brought loads of players in, but Jesse's going to do his moonwalking, isn't he? For 200 grand away. It's the most expensive moonwalk I've ever seen. But I think Newcastle, on the season, I think Newcastle, they needed to bring a bit more in for me. They brought in a few low-level players, apart from Botman, I'd say. Like Pope come from Burnley, who got relegated.
I think Pope is a very tight keeper, though. And I think it's a very good addition.
It's a decent signing. I'm not discounting that, but and Matt
feels
Target,
underwhelming though. though, a little
Yeah,
bit from what they could go for.
underwhelming.
With
But
all
I
the
feel
money they've
they're,
got.
they're being very smart in terms of they don't want to blow their load too early. So, they know it's going to take a while. So they're
for that blowing your load too early.
they're taking their time. I feel like.
Take their time with it. I don't know, like Matt Target. I find that as a if he was my first left back, I wouldn't be too overjoyed. But I'm excited to see how Nottingham Forest do, even though I don't like them because they beat us all the time when we play there. But on a serious note, they deserve to be back. They needed to be back in the Premier League. The level of the team they are, and a historical team. Plus, I don't like anyone who has loads of money, so I don't like Newcastle anymore. But
I feel like Newcastle. Sorry, I was going to just say. I feel like Newcastle are. They might be doing what they done last year in terms of
not being shit.
I'm not trying to be shit, but I think they're going to tick along nicely up until January, and then splurge on bringing in a lot of people for like a second half push. I don't think it's the smartest idea if they do go down that route, because the summer transfer window is the best time to bring people in. Like the January's there if you need reinforcements, but it's harder to make deals.
Kane, mate.
They do.
The Kiwi Kane.
And guess when they brought him? They brought him in January. So.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we all remember that.
Well, I don't know who they're going to bring in next. Maybe like I don't know, Ismet. I've heard Saar he's being linked there, so that might be decent. But I've heard that they want that St Maximin might be going somewhere like for me, he's one of their better players, so I'm not sure. But I think I'm excited to see what Forest do and some of the players they brought in as well. Like not just Lingard, so just got to wait and see, haven't we, really? But hopefully they stay up and they smash Newcastle.
Well, we'll see what happens. Sam, what's your view on that one?
It's a tough one, I think. I think a lot of people are counting Forest out, and that's not something I don't think you can do when it's going to be their first game back in however many years it was, 20 odd years, wasn't it? So I've put Newcastle to win, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game in any form, in any shape or form, really, because Forest are going to want to start with kind of a message rather than kind of to go out on a whimper on the first game. Sort of thing.
For you, Tooney. There's a song, guys.
What comments have we got?
We have one comment from Liam, and he's put in 1-1 for this one.
Yeah,
which I don't think is a bad start, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair.
And also, George, you're slipping into darkness, my friend.
Slowly. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Dark and I ain't got a light on, and I'm like Justin Hawkins in darkness.
Hey, right.
There you go.
Moving on to the next team. It's actually George's favourite team, this. So we'll go to George first.
Burnley relegated, mate.
Spurs versus Southampton, George. How do you see that game going?
Do you want to catch COVID and go and watch them? Are you asking first? Me?
You, my friend, your favourite team, so I'd rather come to you.
How do I see it going? 12-0 Southampton. No, realistically, all right, 11.
There you go.
9-0. 9-0 to open the season.
Yeah, don't do that to me because I got pretty smashed the other night when I went to the Emirates Club. If that happens, I might be doing a show from a hospital bed with my stomach being pumped or something.
As long as they give you Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly. No, the Wi-Fi in hospitals is rubbish. No, honestly, I think obviously Conte's revolution, as I keep hearing. I don't know. I think Southampton might do something. No one really knows what Southampton are going to do, to be fair, because the players they brought in, they're young. No one really knows. So and the first game of the season is always hard. It's not like you've seen some shock results. Like just look at, no one would have probably thought Brentford would have done Arsenal, or you've seen other first game of the season stuff. Steven Gerrard here.
Of course.
So, but realistically, on paper, you probably think the diving squad will win. So, but I don't think it. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a shock, because it would be a shock result if Southampton won. But come on, you Saints!
Well, Nick, what do we think? What's going to happen?
It's gonna. Looking at the two squads, it probably be a Tottenham win
He's allergic to Spurs
with all the players they have signed, but Southampton could be unknown quantity because of the players they have. You don't know, but also they have the quality of Ward-Prowse setting up Shea Adams and the players they got in the forward line. So they could.
Is Theo still there?
No, I don't think he is.
No, that would have been.
But I do think Southampton have could cause problems for Tottenham. I think Tottenham will win, but I think both teams will score for definite.
Abdi, how do you see this going?
I see Spurs coming out on top. To be fair, yeah. Listen, if it was in the middle of the season, I think it'd be a more different story. To be fair, I'm just going off because I don't know too much about how Southampton will play with their new look team in terms of the youth route.
Friendlies.
I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to their pre-season.
They lost to Jose.
They lost to
They
Roma
did.
1-0.
I know about that one. But
they drew with Sevilla. They just about won against the K League Stars or K League All Stars.
But as we've said, pre-season you can't really read too much into it. So when the actual ball gets rolling and the points up for grabs, we'll see what happens. But for now, I do think home game from their fans, they love to get off to a good start. You know, who knows? There could be a shock to the system. Southampton go in there and spoil the party for them.
WWE themes links is there going to be?
I'm not doing it. It's very unintentional. But
that's the fourth one.
Listen, I'll drop more deliberate ones, but it's unintentional. Shush. But Southampton have had a good record against Spurs in like last season, but obviously new season, fresh start. But we'll see what happens on Saturday for that. But I do think it's going to be a win for Spurs.
Well, win for Spurs. Sam, are you predicting Spurs to win?
No, I can never say that, even if I think they will.
Put the bias to the side.
No,
we've got to be professional, man.
No, I did actually go with a draw in this one. I think there's a lot of excitement. I don't know. Excitement's the right word. There's a lot of excitement with Tottenham fans and a lot of excitement with everybody else because everybody kind of thinks that Tottenham are going to do this really well now. Now they've made all these like world-class signings, which aren't really world-class. But so I think it will be a draw. I think both teams, I think they're kind of going to fall on a whimper a little bit, Spurs, and kind of, well, I'm hoping so anyway. But I actually do think it will be a draw.
Okay.
They won't do a whimper yet. They'll build it up so like all their hopes and dreams are like feeling like they're going to explode, and then they'll just go, and then it will be burnt down.
We've got two. We've got one from Tom.
Hey,
Tommy,
hello.
Eddie.
That says, all right to everyone. And Liam with, do I put this one up? He's put 2-1 Tottenham, but I don't really think I should put that one.
Respectable, Liam. Respectable, man.
Putting your bias aside there you go. Right, moving to the next game, and we're going to go to Nick first with this one.
Let's start off with you. I'll put it to you. Frank Lampard's Everton against Tommy Tickle's Chelsea. We all know what the score last season. Under pressure, very big under pressure. Your preseason has been kind of shaky. Your
Okay.
transfer window has been chaotic and shambolic. Let's get your thoughts.
So they sign Frankie de Jong.
Bullshit. That's not happening.
Well,
not happening.
we'll have to wait and
Nah.
see what happens with that.
Go get
one.
Deckers. That's who you want, not him. Leave Frankie alone.
Deco, he's a bit old, isn't he?
Deckers, Declan Rice.
No, we need
Nah,
defenders.
You got
Well,
one, but I spell a tetra. So I knew
oh,
it.
Yeah,
I'm
you kept them for
surprised
2
about
years.
that.
Big Dave.
Surprised about that, to be honest, because you wanted to leave. My opinion on the game is fairly simple. I think we will just about win it. I think
Like last season.
No, last season we did not.
Oh, sorry, I just forgot about that one.
I bet you did.
Never
Last season. This season, I think we're going to just about win. I don't think it's going to be easy because one, we don't have a good record against Everton. Two, I'm simply not convinced about our form at the moment. Yes, you can't take much from a preseason friendly, but I'm not convinced myself. I'm looking at a very close win, say like a 2-1 win. Which it won't be a massive, great way to open the season, but it'll be the valuable 3 points we need. I think we've got chaos all over the shop. I think Tuchel's going to be under pressure this season. He's going to have to win something. So let's start with a win of a Premier League game and then carry on from there, I would say. Simple as, really. Nick, what do you think is going to happen?
I think Chelsea are going to win. Because I think Everton have no strikers because of Calvert
Chelsea.
injury.
And
they can put Raheem up there. That's fine.
We've got Havertz,
and Rondon are not there. So I do think Chelsea have been a bit. I think it's been scattergun effect. The transfer policy by Chelsea. They're not targeted the key areas they need to. And like they need to focus on defense after why they let Rudiger and Christensen leave for nothing. That's a massive error. But I think Chelsea are gonna win quite comfortably in the end, I think.
Okay, comfortable win for the Blues. Abdi, what you're going for?
I've actually thought about this. I think this goes one of two ways. Either Chelsea go in there and smash them because Everton are shit, or Chelsea have their. No, I wasn't going to go Everton smash them, but Chelsea have their Goodison Park mental block and shit the bed. But I think I've gone for a cheeky 1-0 win for Everton. But
Dele Alli.
Dele Alli, the Dele Alli special. But no, it's because Chelsea have had a weird preseason, but Everton have had a horrible preseason and carried on their
best thing Everton did was beat Blackpool.
Yeah, they got slapped 4-0 by an MLS team.
Blackpool, my mate Charlie's going there, so leave him alone.
He is. But no, I think Chelsea have had a weird one as well in terms of their transfer policy and the way Todd's running it, getting rid of all the people that were in footballing positions and not sort of leaning on them to get them through the summer transfer window and just going in and doing everything himself. Has been a very chaotic strategy. We'll see if it works out in the long term, but at the moment, Koulibaly's a good signing, Sterling's a very good signing, Cucurella is a good signing, but was it a needed one? We'll have to see. But now that Azpilicueta's staying as well, I don't know. Maybe that stops you guys from getting another centre back in, but it's a weird one for Chelsea. Aubameyang's been linked with you guys. You're just going for everyone, to be fair. Yeah, last night I saw Aubameyang's been linked with you. Yeah, no, 6-month holiday in Barcelona, coming back to London, but going to West London. Very interesting. Good luck. Yeah, very good luck. But I don't know what to say for Chelsea. I think it's one of those. It's make or break for them. They could have a very good season, or they could have a very poor season. I know it's a bit 50-50 in what I'm saying, but it is true. I don't really know how to call Chelsea at this moment in time, because I could easily see them just going into blitzing teams and going third, or I wouldn't say push for a title because we saw what happened last time. we saw what happened last time. That's what I'm saying. But
Absolutely not.
it could also easily swing the other way and go backwards, and they could go into sixth or something out of the top four at least. So if anyone's going to fall out of the top four, it could Chelsea are the ones that it could be because of the way that they're still sort of trying to find their feet, and trying to find stability. So we'll see. But I think Everton, as I said, one or two ways, but I've gone for a cheeky Everton win.
Okie dokie. George, what are we doing? What's going on? What's going to happen?
I just want to clarify something. Someone's been watching the show and wanted me to say,
It's me.
I just want to clarify that Chelsea do not need to hijack a move for the player called Chaos. He doesn't play for anyone. Just clarifying that.
Sure.
And apparently Man United are looking for a new tea lady, but apparently Chelsea are going to hijack that as well. So
Yeah, pretty much.
it's a mess, really. Like I think Abdi said, the transfer target stuff is absolutely redonkulous. Like there's no, there is just no target. Like
no, there's no target. He's at Newcastle.
No, the scouts are they're obviously in the WhatsApp groups because they see people and they're on Twitter and they're like, oh, hold on a minute, we'll go for him. Yeah, bang. Like, I can't think of one player Chelsea have gone for that not another team was going for.
I mean, that's
Sterling,
not really a problem.
probably,
That's not
I
really a
think.
problem that other teams go for them because that happens often in transfer windows.
Not like this, mate. Jeez.
No, but I don't think that's the biggest issue that Chelsea have had. They're going for players that other clubs.
But it's a problem when if that's your scouts, like so Rafinha, Arsenal linked with him. I don't know. We'll get him. Sterling, Tottenham are linked with him. Oh no, we'll get him. Whatever he's Cucurella.
Everybody's linked with him.
City, no, we'll have him. So like. I suppose Koulibaly, they waited about 6 years after Man United didn't get him, so there's that. Now we'll go for him.
Koundé was going to go Barca as well.
Koundé, yeah, we'll have him. Oh no, you won't. So
they got done dirty by Barcelona twice.
It does make me laugh that people say about Barcelona, oh, they hijack people, but they've just gone a step further than what Chelsea have done.
They've done what a lot of other teams have done. Hijacking deals is not a foreign concept.
It isn't, but the degree that you guys are going at is like it's another level. Like you need to chill. You have an issue. You have a problem.
The bigger issue is with the players we're signing rather than the fact we're hijacking them. To be honest,
well, I don't think there's any problem with the players you're signing. To be fair, like Koulibaly's a good defender. He's better than what you've got. To be fair, the Cucurella is a good player. Like. Whether you think you
spent like 50 million on Chilwell.
Yeah, and, so I remember when another team from London spent 50 million on a Brighton player and everyone laughed. I don't know who that was. But Sterling, I think is a really good signing, like for you guys. Like so, Amari Hutchinson and the Villa youngster for your youth to go and play. Like they've said, their dream was to play for Vitesse Arnhem. So I know.
Okay.
But no, on a serious note, I think Chelsea, I think their problem starts again from the board, and it's obviously have a new owner. Todd Bowley's trying to do stuff like apparently he bought all the rest of the people from the Premier League or the owners or something. He took them all out for a meal or something, or invited them. I don't know.
What a guy! Stand up.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I give him applause for that, but he needs to chill out of the way he's moving.
Stan and Josh Kroenke was like, "Yeah, well, so I haven't got to spend no money for the week."
Bit of Joel as well. Bit of Joel.
Yeah. God, that's a dinner date you wouldn't want to go to, isn't it?
No.
Stan and Joel. Jesus.
Yeah.
No, and Levy. But with Chelsea,
we know one person will avoid paying the bill. Anyway,
with Chelsea, Everton. So Abdi said it's the bipolar effect, isn't it? You don't know what Chelsea are going to turn up. So Everton's pre-season's been that bad that they brought on a supporter to score a winning penalty. So I don't know. I've said I think Everton are down in previous prediction stuff. So, but this might be their result they get. But I think if Chelsea lose, the pressure's properly on Tuchel. Like the pressure would be on Arteta. I think it's as much on Tuchel. And Everton are just a championship side at best anyway. So
Well, as I said about
I don't think it's going to be a great game, if I'm honest. Like,
no, I
it's
don't
like,
imagine.
but
I don't
as you
see
said,
it.
Chelsea could go and win 4-5, or it could be 1-0, or it could be like I don't imagine it being tight because both like Everton can't defend, and against Chelsea's attack, like however bad they are, they're still quality forward play. But like, I don't know where the goals would come from Everton apart from Anthony Gordon. Maybe Big Dom. That's about it if he's fit.
No, he's not. He's out for
Right.
6 weeks.
No,
Good lord. What happened to this
Or
guy?
it might be time for AA.
No.
Well,
I
Alcoholics
don't want to go
Anonymous.
there. I don't want to go there.
Alex or Warby.
Well,
I'll say I, but okay.
I changed. We spell it A in London.
Hey?
well,
Yeah, exactly.
what, Sam? What we thinking of this?
I'm going with an Everton win.
But you don't like Chelsea.
Thank you, Sam.
No, in seriousness, I did watch them. Granted, it's only pre-season, but they did put a very strong team out against us, as we put a strong team out, and they looked all over the place, to say the least.
Who, Everton or Chelsea? Because we beat both of them.
well, both, but Chelsea against us looked all over the place. So
Yeah, they didn't look good
unless
to me.
that changes, then they're really going to struggle. Because I think
Beat Udinese, didn't you?
Yes.
No, that's a good side, mate. Tell you.
Yeah. Carry on, Sam.
I just think I just worry. I don't worry because I don't really care if they don't do that great. But if they turn up like that, if that team hasn't changed since that pre-season game, then they're in serious trouble.
One less team for us to worry about.
Okay,
Hey, Sam,
any comments?
We've got Liam. You'll be pleased that he said 1-0 Chelsea.
Okay.
I can see that though.
Moving on to the next.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible, definitely. Moving on to the next game. Luckily, it's not at Brighton, Abdi, so you might be able to avoid what you got last.
No, he's not going. That's why.
Yeah, he can't jinx them. Abdi, where do you think this game's gonna go? Come on.
Willie's not going.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I'll be sitting there watching it.
That's what I mean. You're safe there.
Yeah,
I am.
They don't let you into the ground this
you
season.
can't
They're
jinx them.
Abdi rings up. Can I get a ticket?
No,
sorry.
at the moment,
Not
I'm
Brings
kind
up
of
trying to get a ticket, they hung up on
self-suspended.
him.
At the moment, I'm kind of self-suspended. I need to show them some documents, and I can't
You're
get hold of those
sanctioned.
documents. No,
Abdi's
exactly. I can't.
sanctioned. That's
I
brilliant.
have to give them some evidence, and I can't actually get hold of those documents.
Well, you
so
Abdi is sanctioned by.
I have to
Manchester
wait
United.
until I can actually get hold of those
He's
documents. Once I can
sanctioned,
get
he's
hold of
jinxed,
those,
so that's their
then
excuse.
I can actually get them.
Abdi's documents and saw that. Yeah.
No, they just look
Sorry,
at his
Abdi,
attendance.
They found
No,
any
you're
excuse
a-
to be like, "Nah, we can't have you."
There's
This
a
is
mark
he's
against
bad
your
luck,
name.
let's
You've been to
sanction
4
him.
games and conceded 4 near enough in each game. You're banned.
Exactly.
You're sanctioned. I can't believe you're sanctioned.
I am sanctioned. They're like, "Nah, we need an intervention."
You're on the
You're a
red
big
list.
You're
reason.
sanctioned
Yeah.
everywhere we go. That's brilliant.
Exactly. No, I'll be back eventually. Where there's a will, there's a way. I'll find a way back. But
He's going to be in the
for
away.
now,
Yeah.
shush.
Hey,
For
he
now,
was
I'm on the
already, wasn't
bench.
he? At the Etihad, wasn't he?
Yeah, and well, I can't be in
Breaking
the
news:
way end
Abdi's been
anymore.
announced as the.
I can be in the
backup
home
keeper.
end. To be fair, I can get home tickets. I can't get away ones. So yeah, for this game,
Oh, that is
honestly,
brilliant.
we'll see. But no, this
Abdi's
game,
the backup keeper to De Gea.
sure thing. That's the only way I'm getting in. But yeah, no, and also let's get back on topic. George, you're a bad
Oh,
influence on the
God.
show.
This is crap. They talk about chaos. So it's not even about Chelsea. It's just this show.
It is. No, but although I think is going to happen in this game, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how Ten Hag gets into the Premier League, like sinks his teeth into it properly, because it's going to be his first Premier League game. I do think it's going to be a decent start. We tend to, and I'm going to use it loosely and lightly, tend to have a good start on the opening day of the season. I think we have,
Guaranteed win from Abdi.
shush, that's not a guarantee.
Oh, he's gone. Has he
That's
gone?
not a
Did win, that's
guarantee. It's a
it, but-
spoiler.
Oh, no, he's back.
Shush.
He's
Cautious
gone, man.
optimism.
He's
We're being
Pre-season
sanctioned
has.
on YouTube now. You keep disappearing, mate.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. You're
Uh,
just gonna
no.
stay in your room, mate. You're not allowed out. Not allowed
No,
to
no.
talk.
Listen. Let me finish.
You've got a battle
Listen, I have probably. No, from pre-season, we've had like a mixed bag. Started off very well, and then sort of petered out towards the end. I'm not happy in terms of what we've done in the transfer window. I don't think we've done near enough as much as what we need to in terms of bringing in signings that are key. Like Frankie de Jong, we've been after him for like been 2 months now. No, 3 months. Yeah, basically, it's been essentially the entire off season between end of the season to the start of the season. So yeah, we've been after him for 3 months, and we've got an agree. The saddest thing is we've got an agreement with Barcelona. We've agreed a deal with Barcelona. We've agreed to pay how much they want, but the only issue is that they owe him like 17 million, and they're not paying him the money. So once that money's sorted, then he could probably come play for us. But until that happens, I don't see what's going to happen until they budge. They've got issues themselves in terms of Barcelona, but we don't want to talk about them. In the striking department, Martial, we thought he was going to go, but he came back and he had a very good preseason of him. But unfortunately, he picked up an injury, which is typical. As things are, as things are going well, it kind of that's a big blow to us in terms of how we want to play with the front three: Martial, Sancho, and Rashford. So we don't have any depth. Ronaldo, he done whatever he done. He done a runner for a bit, and he only had 45.
Didn't he?
He did, along with a few other players. So
I thought that was really fun. That honestly, when I heard, because I didn't actually know it happened. My granddad.
He didn't go at half time. It was like 75th minute.
Yeah, like he left before the full time whistle. Though, and he was like, "Yeah, they went home." I went, maybe I was going to watch the women Euros final or something.
Maybe, but no.
He's got to go. Surely he can't be doing.
I don't think he's going anywhere. But he hasn't had a full preseason, so he's going to be brought in slowly. So I don't think he'll start on Sunday, regardless of whether Martial's not going to be there. So, but we're very light up front in terms of it'll probably be Rashford through the middle, Sancho on one side, and Langa off the other. But after that, we barely have anyone up front in terms of attacking options, and I feel like we've been depleted. Like going from last year where we had the likes of Sancho, Rashford, Cavani, Ronaldo, number 11 himself. And he had just had players for pretty much a backup for their position, and you're fine with it. But going into it feels very thin and bare. But we're after Anthony from Ajax, another one. I feel like going after a lot of players who've played in Holland or have some connection there. I've seen we've been linked with Hakim Ziyech last night.
You're going for Van Nistelrooy as well.
PSV manager.
Patrick.
I'd love him back. I'd love him back.
Cruyff.
From the grave.
But
no, he hates us. But in all seriousness, yeah, I'll take it. In all seriousness, I don't think the board have delivered in terms of Jaap Stam. Mate, Jaap Stam's class. He'll do a job. He'll do a job at centre back. Put him there. But no, in all seriousness, I don't think the board have done nearly enough to support Ten Hag in making it an easy transition for him and bringing in the players that he requires. Because that squad after last season was shit, and all you see is still majority of the players who were basically shit last season as well, and they get another chance. And who would have thought if you told me at the start of the end of May, Fred McTominay would be the midfield option that would be starting the season.
Legend, mate. Come on.
No, listen. I'm not saying individually. I'm saying together as a partnership. As a partnership, Fred and McTominay together, starting together at the start of the season. I would have been like, surely not. But that's where we are currently.
Not Donny van de Bench.
We do, but I don't think he'll be starting. I
Oh,
will see.
come on.
We'll see. I don't
Ew.
no, because honestly, I don't think he's done too much in preseason. Like, he hasn't set the world on fire, really.
Is Garner still there? Or has he gone out on loan?
For now he is, but he hasn't really had too much of a preseason either because he got injured, which wasn't
Didn't know if they would
the
push
best
him.
time. I think he'll go back on loan because I don't think he's had enough time to really.
He might go back to Forest.
No, because we've sent Dean Henderson there, and you can only have one player on
No,
loan.
you've sent you upset Dean, and he's gone now, haven't you?
We haven't upset him. I don't really want to address those that interview that he done because it's embarrassing from his part. On the other hand, like with the game against Brighton, I still think it's a decent enough start that you can have because Brighton not a team that will sort of sit back in terms of just be like compact and hard to break down. I think it could be a team where you could play the likes of Ericsson and Bruno and Sancho together, and then just have it doesn't have to be a very physical midfield. It can be a very technical one, and then I think you can get by for the first game and the second game maybe, but then you got Liverpool in the third game, so it's going to be very tough. But I do think Sunday will be an optimistic start, but I don't think it will last too long. I don't know. I'm being very cautious this season.
Cautious Abdi. Well, we'll see which game he goes to next. I recommend putting a bet of Man United's concede 3+ goals for that. Sam, what you going with for that one?
See, I think Frankie de Jong's just hanging on the doors of Barcelona. I don't think he's thinking about the money he's owed at all. I think he's just going, "Oh my God, please don't make me go." But apart from that, I do think they will win fairly comfortably. I think they're going to do a lot.
With Brighton.
No, United. I do think they're going to do a lot better than people think they're going to do. I think
With
they're
Brighton.
going to
George, shut up.
I think they're going to have that new bounce manager effect that you have when you have a new manager and kind of look really good for a little bit, and take like a little bit of a run off that. But in the long term, if they don't do some more transfers and don't get some over the line, then I don't think they're going to do great. But I think they'll win this one quite comfortably, if I'm honest.
Well, Brighton.
Josh.
George, where do you think this game's going then?
Well, I'll stick to what I said originally. I think United will win. I don't think their squad's good enough yet. Like what Abdi said, they're fixated on one target again. It's not like Man United to do that at all. Which surprised me really. Like to just focus on one player for a very long time.
Never happened.
Hey, this is not rarity. This is not our fault at this point.
Sancho,
No, I do agree. We have
your fault,
fixated too much.
Pay the extra 17 million, it'll be done. So
we could, but that's the money that Barcelona owe him, not us.
Yeah, but if you want him, you'd do it, wouldn't you? Really?
Not
you. Like you're sanctioned, mate.
Yeah.
So
you're bad.
I am. But
I've said when I've spoke to Abdi on a serious note, banter out of it. I think there's a lot more they need to do. Like, I think they need a forward, a right back, a few other players. I think they'll beat Brighton because, like Sam said, like what relegation teams have, like the new manager bounce thing. But
relegation team, shut it.
They do. Like when
shut
team
up.
Sacks their
Shut up.
Shut
up. You're having a laugh. Nice one.
I'm not saying you're going to get relegated.
I'm saying relegation team. Shush.
Listen to my point. So when
I get what you're saying, though.
Sacks Sean
Yeah.
Dyche, you know what I mean? They brought in Michael Jackson, and it was a thriller. And then for a little while, he was off the wall, and then he was gone. So, but that's what I'm saying.
You can use a better analogy than that, though. Come on.
I can't.
There have been other more, more impressive managerial bounces.
Well, all right. I'm trying to think of one in a minute.
Thomas Tuchel, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Ollie
just
the
name
Wally.
two.
Yeah, Ollie back. Brilliant.
Where do we go?
But anyway, so I don't really know how Brighton are going to be. Obviously, we're losing a couple of players. They've lost like Basuma and Kukurea. They're two of their better players. So it's not like they've got not got money to buy. So I don't think it'll be what was the score last season? 3-0.
What, Old Trafford or Amex?
The one you lost.
4-0.
Yeah. So I wasn't even. Then. I couldn't
No,
remember.
we have beaten them to on the Old Trafford game. So this is Old Trafford, not
Well
the.
done.
You lost to them as well. Shush.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well done. I won't even turn the. You're just too defensive, Abdi.
I'm not, but you. No, we're not. We're not fighting.
We're down.
Yeah, go on.
I'm not. I won't even take the mic. What?
Yeah,
when you lost 4-0, I don't think it's going to
be.
be like that.
Okay, sure thing.
I think it'll be.
Listen, a lot of people gave up at that
this
point,
season.
so it's a different season, fresh start. So we'll see what happens.
Gave up in December, but then.
Yeah, we did.
But I think Bruno will be a lot better because I think it all depends what happens with Ronaldo. But
He's really ripped up in pre-season. To be fair, he's just been ticking along.
I think Martial. I've only watched a couple of your games in the pre-season. I think Martial's done well, so it's a shame for him that he's got injured.
Yeah.
I think you've got enough to beat Brighton. Like, you got your back four. Your back fours are right now. You've got a Country at left back. You got Martinez and probably Varane. I would have thought. And
Country at left back.
It's gonna be Maguire.
yeah, Malaysia.
Oh yes.
And you got the Greek slaphead. He'll be on the bench. I would have thought. So.
No, he won't. He's the captain. He will be starting.
Yeah, he'd be right back probably.
No, he wouldn't.
So
Right centre back, not right back.
I don't know. I think Ten Hag will probably get a win to start off with, but if he found it, Brighton won, just before I put it out.
Not for us.
Danny Welbeck?
Yeah,
Anyone?
we'll see.
No, I think it'll be 4-1 United. Be nice
Oh,
to have you for a little while.
Would you,
Guaranteed win for Man United.
so would you like
listen,
to
you're
change?
not Austin. It doesn't work when you do it.
Man United ain't
It
gonna lose.
actually
It's
happens when
guaranteed.
you do it.
Yeah,
Happens
like,
when you do.
Man United got no chance of losing that game.
Okay, shut
Absolutely
up.
no
Now.
chance.
All right,
5-0 for
move
United.
along.
Easy,
Move
right.
along,
We'll
Hubert.
move along because Abdi's getting upset here.
No,
It's already
time.
Nick,
sanctioned.
Ticking along.
Nick, what you're going for?
I
That's
think
right.
I think Man United will have enough to win very comfortably against Brighton, especially with the
Yeah,
players that lost.
everyone's
Brighton.
guaranteed Man United wins.
I think Man United have got some good. They've done some good thing in pre-season. One of reports. So I think Fernandes and Ericsson and Sancho and Rashford all click. So I think Man United are going to win very comfortably.
Can I ask a quick
comfortably.
question quickly, Abdi? I'm not even taking the piss now.
Oh god.
Mhm.
How's Rashford been doing in pre-season?
He's been looking okay. He's been looking a little better than he was last season. Just trying to find his feet and a bit of confidence, and
At the bottom of his
hopefully
legs,
he
mate.
can. Hopefully he can get back to his best form. But
Oh, it's-
we'll see.
yeah.
Sam,
Still
No,
early days.
the school dinner meals has finished, so he might be alright now.
Sam, any comments?
We've got two from Liam. One saying, would love to see Brighton win, especially playing.
Liam.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I've got to
I'll
support
accept
Brighton
that.
now,
No,
haven't I?
I'll accept
I'm
that.
signed
I'll
to
accept
Brighton.
that.
So yeah, I didn't even think of that. Cheers, Liam.
And Liam also said, disappointed in you, George. Back the team you play for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
Shameful,
complete-
Sullivan.
I haven't
Shameful.
played yet, so that's
Shameful.
my issue.
God.
But
Right.
I back Brighton.
Can't
No,
change.
Hey,
man.
I'll
Guarantee
back
Man
Brighton when
United
we're
wins
not
anyone.
playing Brighton. But
Oh,
you know,
no. Right, last game we
That
move
Brighton
on
you say
to.
up, wouldn't it?
Last game we move on to is West Ham, Man City. It's going to be possibly an interesting fixture there.
European battle.
George, what do you think?
I think it'll be quite closer than people think. Like, I think when I done the Super Six thing, I think I said like 3-2 City. Like, West Ham have bought a couple of decent players in. Like they've got Here we go. This is my test. Skamaka.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you
fine.
said that right.
There that goes. Right. It's better than what I said earlier. I said Akuna Matata. Right, so they've got him. I think they've got the French centre half. That looks like they're going to get Maxwell Cornetto, and from Burnley, who's a really, really good player. I think that's quite a clever signing if that comes off. And if we've still got people like Bowen, and they're playing different Antonio, so they're not. West Ham are still a very good side. West Ham, they got a draw, didn't they, against City last season? Should have probably really beat them.
Yep.
So I think it'll be interesting with West Ham City. Like, I watched City play the other day, and Haaland missed an absolute sitter. But
What a
I was
shame.
like, okay. I was like, my mate Jesus wouldn't do that, would he? But City are City, aren't they? I don't know. I've been listening to reviews about the Premier League and that, and I understand what they say. Like, you think of the players that they've sold, City, like Zinchenko, Jesus, Sterling. They're three big name players for that squad. I know they've got other players who can do good enough jobs, but it's still probably holes that need to be filled, and they haven't filled them. Maybe the Jesus one, sorry, but I don't want to say Sterling or Zinchenko.
I think Grealish steps into that role for the Sterling one.
Oh, the
Grealish.
benchman.
Yeah, no, I think he second
but
season, he'll
he
step
likes
up.
that I'd love to be like Jack Grealish, like do nothing and win a Premier League and stuff, and get to go to Miami and do what he's done. It's brilliant. But he's funny. I like Jack Grealish. He's quite funny. Comedian.
Shane plays for them a lot.
Well,
but I think City will edge it, but I'd like to see West Ham win though.
Abdi, you were hoping for a Man City win last time this fixture was on
that was
season.
Disgusting.
You know, a Man United fan hoping Man City would win. Are you going to do the same this time?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Shut up. A Man United fan?
No, listen. I didn't listen. Anyway, moving along.
I can't remember why you wanted to win.
Because if they didn't, Liverpool. No, it was because it stopped Liverpool from winning the league. It was the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils. Either way, it doesn't matter. That was in last season. This season, start of the season, I'm obviously I'd want West Ham to win, but do I think West Ham can win? I think they can cause City problems. It hasn't been a good fixture for West Ham in recent years. I think last season it was a lot closer in terms of the away game and the home game. But usually City go to the London Stadium and just smash them. I think a few seasons ago, I remember the opening game of the season was West Ham v Man City at the London Stadium, and they smashed them 5-0. So I don't think, smash the Hammers. I don't think that it will happen. Yeah, I don't think it'll be a hammering like it was then. I think it'll be a lot closer, as George has said. But I do think City will still edge it.
Didn't City get knocked out of the cup by West Ham?
They did.
On penalties.
They did.
Yeah, I know it was penalties, but they still what I mean is that there was a couple of games where they were tight, wasn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Games.
They were, but Premier League. So I don't know. They'll still tie in the Premier League, to be fair, as well. So
Well,
I don't know what the score was earlier in the season, but I don't think it was.
I think it was like 2-1. No, it was like 2-1 or something. It was close.
Well,
was 2-1. West Ham lost 2-1 the away game, and then the home. Then they drew 2-2 at London Stadium.
Because they should have won, really, West Ham, shouldn't they? But
and then City should have won as well. It was both of them should have won, to be fair. But I think the draw was fair result.
Time, wasn't it?
It was, but then afterwards, I think Gundogan or someone missed the penalty. Mahrez, I think it was.
Mahrez at the end had a penalty.
Yeah, that was quite.
So, oh well.
Well, we'll see what happens. Nick, where do you think this is going?
I am going to say it's going to be a very competitive match, and it's going to be very close, very tight. But I think Man City are just going to edge it with the quality. But I do think it's going to be a very good match, and hopefully they'll be loads of goals because I went for quite a high scoring prediction.
8-7.
No, not that high.
I like how you actually gave it thought. Like,
Hold on a minute. He might be on the side here.
well,
I don't think I've got any City players in my fantasy. It's probably the first time ever.
I think I've got one.
Shocking.
Sam, what are we going for?
I think it's going to be a tough. Like, it's not going to be an easy. It's not going to be a game that either team walks away with. I think it will be a Man City win, but I think it could be like one of these games where you see quite a few goals in it. If I'm honest.
Okay. Any comments?
Just Liam with 2-1 City.
Right. So there we go. These are the games. Now, before we finish and close the show, I'm going to hand over to Sam the man here because he's come up with a prediction.
I need a Cardiff owner years ago.
With a predictions game for the season, for the management team and the guests. So Nick will get some predictions from you, I believe, either during the show or after. I don't know. I'll hand over to Sam, who will explain how this all works.
Yeah. So I'm going to get Nick's predictions on the show, I think, because I've wrote him a little list. But basically, between all of us that are going to be regulars on the show, I've set up a predictions league that will encounter in like a table, and it will just be kind of bragging rights between us all. There'll obviously be a league between us, and then we decided that the guests that we have on will then kind of add their scores up together and collate them all together and see if they've, at the end of the season, beaten us as the regulars or whether it's the guests that have got more points. So before I waffle on, I'm going to get your score predictions and stuff, if that's okay, Nick.
Yep.
So the first one we're going to go for is, I think, the first that we opened up with, so it kind of correlates, and that being Crystal Palace and Arsenal.
So I'm going 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal.
Go on, Nick. You can come back on, mate.
Next game, Fulham Liverpool.
5-0 Liverpool, hammering.
No hesitation there.
I think I said that as well.
Next game, Bournemouth Villa.
Gonna go Villa win 2-1.
Villa 2-1.
As long as it's a bit of Bailey, I'm all right.
Leeds Wolves.
Oh no! Funny enough, on Sunday I was playing VR tennis tournament and I was playing against a friend who is a Leeds fan. So,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say 2-2 draw.
Ooh, thriller.
That's 0-0, I think.
Oh, that's got to be I put that 1-1.
Next game is your team, Newcastle against Forest.
Here we go.
I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Newcastle.
Boys, I said 4-1 then.
I thought it was as well.
Yeah.
I was like, hey.
Come on.
Oh, he's on.
So Spurs and Southampton.
3-1 Spurs.
Yeah, I did say you could stay on after that.
Not sure now.
Yeah, you
Hang
can
on.
stay. You can still stay.
Yeah,
You can
I'm
stay.
aware.
Yeah, more than welcome.
Everton Chelsea.
4-0 Chelsea.
Ooh, you're optimistic.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Not one I've put down, if I'm
4
honest.
shots.
Leicester Brentford.
Oh no, this is going to be an interesting game. Depends who's playing for Leicester, who's still there. But I'm going to say 2-0 win for Leicester.
Ooh.
What?
You got two more. So Man United Brighton.
Going to say 3-0 win for Manchester United.
And then West Ham City.
I'm going to say Man City win 3-2.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Throw in Manila.
So I'm not going to read out everyone's predictions because I think that'll take forever. But I'm just going to pick out some ones that have stuck out to me. And Matt
It had to be a Matt.
I don't really know what team he supports because he's put
He's
Palace to win 2-1.
What?
What?
Oh, I
He's
know.
an
Actually, we know
Arsenal
what he's
fan.
doing. I was going to
He's
say
an
we know what he's
Arsenal
doing.
No,
fan.
that's fine.
Working on-
Yeah, we'll go with that.
He's working on
That's
reverse
the-
psychology.
That's the only non-Arsenal win. For that
Every
first
prediction
game
he
that
predicts,
I
it goes opposite.
Mm.
thought.
So, yeah, I agree with that, Matt. Well done.
We've got a couple of draws at Everton, Chelsea. To be fair, which a couple of 1-1 draws.
Yeah, very realistic, I think.
We have Forest winning in one of the predictions, in only one, but the rest is Newcastle. And yeah,
Who
and then
did you go for?
what did I go for?
Yeah.
All right, I'll read mine out. So I've gone 3-1 Arsenal.
Samiano over there.
Yeah, so I've gone 3-1 Arsenal, 4-0 Liverpool, 2-1 Villa, 1-0 Wolves, 3-1 Newcastle, a draw at Spurs and Southampton, 1-0 Everton, 2-1 Leicester, 2-0 United, and 3-1 City.
Okay. Reasonable. I do think Brentford might. I think Brentford will probably do Leicester.
Brentford win or draw, I'd say, for a double chance bet.
I think there's a couple of ones that could go completely either way, to be honest. I'm looking at the Wolves and Leeds. I think that could go
that's
either way.
one.
I think the Leicester could go either way as well.
I think with that game, Casper will be watching it and think the weather's nice over here.
Yeah, that's really surprised me. That one really surprised.
Yeah, I was shocked when I read that.
So are we going to get the table update on Monday then?
Yes, I will have a table update on Monday.
Excellent. Right. Well, there we go. That is the Premier League show. Before we close out, Abdi, if people want to find you and beg you to not go to
People wanna
United
find
games,
me?
where can that be?
Do not come to my house. If you find me, do not come to my house. Do not approach me. I do not take kindly. That's fine. No, but in all seriousness, if you want to find me, you can find me on the Twitter machine at AAAbdullahi26, at AABDULLAHI26.
And your time starts.
Yeah.
Done that one before.
What'd you say, Sam?
I said he's done that one before.
Oh, clearly, well rehearsed. George, where can people find you?
I am
In the clock end.
Yeah. Apart from next Saturday, because I'm not at football next Saturday. It's the first home game I'm missing.
Shameful.
It's friend's birthday. You got to put the friends.
Yeah,
first.
you got to do what you got to do.
But I should be I'll be at Fulham and Villa. So
Fulham.
So you'll find me at Clockend George, or either on Arsenal Fans Forever, or Cannon Chatter, or here,
or there, everywhere.
Plugs.
Plug. Young Nick, can people find you on Twitter anyway?
Yes. So at Nicholas Pages is my Twitter feed. So that's where you will find me on Twitter.
Your Twitter feed.
Your Twitter feed.
Right.
Ooh, don't you know? You can find me on @Subsonics UK. That's SUBSONIX UK if you really want to. Sam, where can people look for you?
On Twitter, they can find me at Sam Wilson AFC, with the I in Wilson being a number one, because the last account got stolen from me.
Got what?
Someone stole your eye.
Well, basically, what happened was
that's why he mixes with us, because he's VI now.
Yeah. Didn't see that coming, did you? Anyway, that's the show. We will be back on Monday, but you could find us on the social media, and all of the good things are returning. Football summaries in the Facebook group, score alerts on the Twitter machine.
They're back. Yep.
Everything.
Oh,
returns.
God, they're back.
At Abdi.
All we want is goals galore Saturday and Sunday, because young Abdi got to get
back. No.
So let's just quickly remind you what's going to happen. You can find us at Golden Goal TV on Twitter, Golden Goal TV on Facebook. We've got the YouTube channel. Click like, share, subscribe, click the notifications button. You don't want to miss the next show. Or
hey, we're almost at 100. Come on, help us get there.
Get us to 100 plus, please. We also have a Super 6 league now launched as well. You can join us there and play predictions. We will see you all on Monday.
Carl, you got it.